Welcome back to another episode of the Millennial Gems podcast. I am your host, KILLA, and today I'm going to give you the top 10 things that millennials should start doing in 2023. But before I get into the episode here, make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on those post notifications so that you'll see when the next episode drops and when the shorts drop. And also make sure you're following us on Instagram at Millennial Gems Podcast to stay up to date about when episodes drop and when future merch will drop off as well. But without further ado, we gonna get into it. So I wanted to talk today about the top 10 things that every millennial should start doing this year. Now, even though we are in the month of February, at the beginning of the month of February, probably should have did this at the top of the year. Doesn't matter because you know what? You can start anything at any time. You don't need to wait until January 1st to start a new habit or pick up a new habit. You can start it at any damn time you want. So, first thing on the list is starting a side hustle. 2023, living the paycheck is, to be honest, I think is whack. To be honest, I think everybody should pick up some sort of side hustle where you're making income outside of your regular, day-to-day income. Whether that's doing Lyft or Uber or DoorDash or now that it's the winter season, maybe even snowing if you've been getting snow, like shoveling snow, cutting grass in the spring and the summertime, um, babysitting, a side hustle, something that you're doing, outside of your normal everyday day income. So, it's good to have that extra cash on the side because now that's extra income in your pocket. So everybody should start a side hustle. Um, you know, who doesn't like extra cash? So I think that's that on that. Start a side hustle. Um, Number two, making sure you're going to the gym. It's 2023, y'all. Like, why are we not going to the gym? Like, don't we physically care about like ourselves, like our body, our minds? Like, going to the gym is like, I don't even think I think it's honestly a necessity. Like, I think everybody should go to the gym. Everybody, everybody, man, young woman, everybody should be going to the gym. But millennials for sure, yo, we got to start getting in the gym ASAP, for real, because we are the game changing generations. Even though we have a lot of shit to deal with, we are the game changing generations, and we need to make sure that we are mentally stable and physically fit to handle every situation we are handed. So make sure we're getting in the gym at least like 3 times a week. Your physical health is very much important, y'all. So, you know, you can't pour into someone else if you're not pouring into yourself. So you have to make sure you're taking care of yourself physically um, in order to take care of others. So, just my suggestion, maybe 2, 3 times a week and maybe work your way up to like 4 to 5 times a week. But start getting in the gym. Like, you're going to feel way better about yourself when you start going to the gym. You're going to look better physically. You're going to feel better, and it's going to give you more confidence. So start going to the gym. Number three, personal development. I started doing personal development back in maybe 2020. Even before the pandemic kind of kicked off, I had already knew that I wanted to change. I wanted to make sure that my next decade of life was going to be different than the last decade. So 2020, I picked up this financial freedom book because I want financial freedom. That is what I'm seeking. And so with that, you have to develop your mindset. You have to develop new habits. You have to start putting yourself in new environments. You got to start doing things that you've never done before. You got to do what most people don't want to do. Um, so, I started reading a lot more books. I started listening to more podcasts. I've actually told myself that I'm going to actually try to start attending more seminars and webinars this year. Kind of just continue to help, gain knowledge and perspective, and just keep building up on my mindset, because mindset is very much important. So, um, yeah, personal development, like everybody should be doing personal development, whether you want to read books or if you want to listen to audiobooks, if you want to listen to podcasts or watch the podcast. But you got to do something that's going to help develop your mindset. That way, it can make you the person that you know you can become and person that you're seeking out. So definitely take up more personal development for sure. Practice more personal development. Um, Number four, learn the basics of investing. We always hear about this term generational wealth, but you can't build generational wealth if you don't invest. So you got to invest for the long term. Especially if you have children, you definitely want to make sure that you're investing right now. Even if you are in your 30s and you're a millennial, it doesn't matter. You can start investing right now. I don't currently have children, but it doesn't matter because I'm currently still investing in, I have a Roth IRA that I put money into every month. So, it's like a retirement account. Um, I have the stock market. I haven't really been feeding that as much. But yeah, you gotta learn the basics of investing so that way you can take advantage of generational wealth. So learn the basics of investing. Number five, meditate. This one, this one, not everybody has to do. I always just say like it's just good to maybe just attempt. Whether you do like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, work your way up to like 30 minutes. I personally do 20 minutes of meditation a day just so I can get my mind right. So that way I can execute my day a lot better. I expect my day to go a lot smoother when I meditate, when I can just clear my mind, just clear my thoughts. Um, so yeah, just practice meditation. Like again, you don't need to meditate for, you know, more than 30 minutes if you don't got it and you do that. Maybe just 5-10 minutes of meditation. Just sit yourself in your room in a just with closed doors, no TV on, nothing playing. You might be able to play like some like soft like background like meditation music, meditational like sounds or music or something like that. But that's about the only sounds I allow to play. Just and just close your eyes and just let your mind run freely. Just kind of just relax the body and kind of just let everything um just flow naturally. So meditation is definitely one. All right. Number six, learn a skill. There are many skills out here that people can learn. You want to learn something that will, you know, pay you forever. When you learn a skill, you can impact a lot of people. You can help a lot of people when you learn a skill. It almost ties into the first one I talked about with starting a side hustle. When you learn a skill, again, you're mastering something that you can, potentially turn into maybe like a large company, or it can turn into something big in the long run. So, some examples of like skills you can learn: coding. You can do video editing, photography. If you want to get into like fitness or so, um, yeah, there are taxes. There are a bunch of skills that you can learn, so that way you can be of assistance to someone else who may need it. Because there, that's I've once heard that everybody should learn like a need based skill. And need based skills is pretty much something. What does something that we as everyday people need? What do everyday people need? Well, we definitely need people who do taxes. We definitely need people who are fitness trainers. We definitely need like videographers and photographers to, for these photo shoots and stuff like that when people have projects they want to get done. So, just pick a skill and try to just really tap in and really learn, the ins and out of that craft. So learn a skill. Number seven, audit your circle. So this goes back into um the personal development almost. This also ties into it. So auditing your circle is pretty much just understanding who you're hanging around. If you have a certain mindset and clarity of who you want to be, you have to make sure you check the people you hang around with. You have to understand the environment you're in. Are the people around you just as driven and motivated as you are? Because if they're not, then you need to get rid of them. You need to dump them off. If you're trying to become a millionaire, a billionaire, you're gonna want to hang around millionaires, billionaires, and trillionaires in order to get there. You can't hang around with people who make less than you because they're not elevating you. Um, those are the people that just want to kind of just ride your coattail. You don't want that. You want to be around people who have the same mindset, who have the same drive, who have the same exact mindset as you. So make sure you're auditing your circle, um, removing and adding people who bring value and can really elevate your status as well. And you can help elevate their status. Number 8, mastering money management. I think as the millennial generation, we are probably the absolute worst with money management. Where we're putting our money and stuff like that. Like we buy so much of these bullshit brands, the Versace's and LVs, and it's okay to splurge on that stuff like every once in a while, I guess, but we put way 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 too much money into that, and so we gotta really learn like where we're spending our money. Like you gotta understand, like you gotta prioritize what exactly do you spend your money on. To see, this is right here is the key reason why I was saying like you need to start a side hustle, and also why you should learn a skill, because one, it'll help you create something big for the long term. All right. So you want to make sure that we're learning money management. We got to understand like where we're putting our money. You got to invest in more assets than liabilities. This also kind of ties into the learning the basics of investing. Assets and liabilities, literally two words that everybody should know. Understand where you're putting your money, what you're spending your money on. Is it an asset or is it a liability? Learn those two words, and then look at your statements and see what are assets and what are your liabilities. Number 9, learn to protect yourself. This one I feel I might get like a little pushback on, but personally I don't give a damn. Learn to protect yourself, and what I mean by learn to protect yourself is either learn like a combat sport or get yourself a license to carry. Yes, I'm telling you, get yourself a gun. Especially for women who have like children, you most definitely want to look to make sure you're carrying something that can protect you, because there are a lot of weirdos out here who just don't give a damn at all. And they look at a woman with a kid as an easy target. So you might want to be carrying the heat in your purse or somewhere tucked under your shirt or something like that. But definitely learn a combat sport. Maybe like boxing, UFC, jiu-jitsu, learn the stuff like that, but also consider getting an LTC. Like criminals don't give a damn at all about obtaining that. That's why there's so many mass murders and stuff like that, because they don't give a damn. So definitely obtain an LTC. It's not that, some states it might be a little bit more challenging, but I think it's worth the wait. I think it's worth the hassle to go through to get it, because at the end of the day, nobody can protect you but you. And to be honest, I'm not dependent on the police to ever come and protect me or save me from anything. At the end of the day, I'm the one who's going to be getting robbed or and end up in a very bad situation, and I'm only in myself I can get myself out of that. So you're going to want to be prepared for that type of stuff. So make sure you learn how to protect yourself with an LTC, or learning a combat sport. To be honest, I learned both of them if you can. All right, and the last thing here, number 10, time management. So this, with all these that I named here, time management is probably one of the most important ones, because with all these things that I listed on here, you have to set time, aside to attack every single one of these. You always hear that, you have 24 hours in a day. And so it's like necessary that you're utilizing and maximizing your days as best as you can. We sleep 8 hours. Okay, well, now you're at work for another 8 hours. Okay, that's 16 hours. So now you're left with another 8. Well, now you can spend maybe 2 hours working on your business. All right, and you spend another hour working out, or maybe 30 minutes reading and 30 minutes meditating. Um, you got to really make time for this stuff. You got to really learn how to utilize your time correctly, because your time on earth is borrowed. Whether you like it or not, your time on earth is borrowed. So you need to make sure that you're maximizing your time absolutely as best as you can. So with those 10 things there, those are the 10 things that we got to get better at. So I'll just run through them quickly one more time. Number 1, make sure you're starting a side hustle. Number 2, make sure you're going to the gym. Number 3, start doing more personal development. Number 4, learning the basics of investing. Number 5, more meditation. Number 6, learn a skill. Number 7, audit your circle. Number 8, practice money management. Number 9, learn to protect yourself. And number 10, get better at time management. All right, y'all. It's been another episode of the Millennial Gems podcast. Stay blessed. Stay gemmed up.